Here's your vacation in 30 years, Dave. The other day, we were talking about futurists who had gotten together, and they said, what will the world be like, specifically the United States, in 30 years? The first one was, your pockets will be empty. Everything you will open or get into with your iris.
Yes.
Facial.
We're already headed there.
Yeah, definitely. The second one was, look for your foods to change in that most meats will be lab-grown. A lot of lab-grown steaks, burgers, fish, and because you only need stem cells, you could try any sort of exotic creature like penguin or wombat on a menu.
You know, it's going to take a generation or two, I think, for the GMO food to catch on.
Agreed.
You know, my generation will never get onto that. Kelly, now you've got youngish kids, teenage kids. Do you ever go out of your way to say non-GMO for them only, or are you okay with GMO stuff?
I would let them try. If I thought it was safe, and approved by the FDA.
I bet they've already had it.
They probably have. Yeah.
I know I have. If you've had cereal, I think in the past 5 years, maybe 8 years, I think you've had it. But I think most of those
like
cereals,
the corns and the wheats,
the cornflakes, I think, because they go out of their way now to put non-GMO on the box. So if they don't go out of their way to put it on there,
it's in there.
Then it's probably
GMO.
grains or wheat.
I thought that had to be labeled if it was.
Yeah.
No.
But the meats.
It doesn't have to be labeled if it's genetically modified?
I don't think so.
But no, I disagree.
Meat might have to be.
I mean, a steak that is not really cow. Somebody's going to tell you that.
Beef, chicken, pork, all that. I think that's different because you think you're actually eating something that was
alive,
raised and live
with parents.
Yeah, I mean corn and flakes.
Yeah, that's
and
what
like
they're specifically talking about, the meats, and they're saying that most of it will be in 30 years will be not from a cow, but it'll taste just like a steak. I mean, it'll be because they get it from a stem cell and they grow it in a lab. Today's was, I know you don't, and I think Christian's right about the generation, because anytime that's ever come up, Dave has said, I'm not eating that. I will not.
30 years,
try that.
I'll be out of here by then.
The next one, don't say that about yourself.
If you start eating real steaks tonight daily, that'll take you out.
Don't say that.
I've tried that before.
Vacations are next on the list here.
All right.
What will you be doing? They're saying within 30 years, they feel that hyperloops will zip humans through vacuum tunnels at 750 miles per hour. And therefore, you could get from one city to another very quickly. And they say that some hyperspeed jets could fly you from New York to Los Angeles in about 2 hours. So it would be much easier to fly.
The jets I can see. The hyperloops, I just don't see it happening.
Nope. Building those, I don't either. No way.
I just don't know how the infrastructure of that would work.
One futurist predicted a luxurious hotels existing under the sea, in the ocean, floating cities with zoos and animals that you can't imagine in only 30 years. And a plan to do genetic engineering, reviving some animals we've lost, like saber-toothed tigers and woolly mammoths.
Leave that alone.
In zoos.
They need to leave
That's
that
Jurassic
alone.
Park stuff there.
Yeah,
We're wandering into that gray area where futurists, and I'm using the word in air quotes, of course, meets stoned college kids. And you can live under the sea. There'd be like a saber-toothed tiger there.
You're telling me that if you couldn't, you wouldn't go see a saber-toothed tiger.
I would go see. I would. If the zoo had a saber-toothed tiger, I would do it. But that's very Jurassic Park. And woolly mammoths. Do they have the DNA?
Yes.
They do have those.
The mammoth is the one that they're closest to coming to make.
Really?
Create. They're just taking elephant and woolly mammoths have not been gone a million years. They've only been gone, what, 500,000?
So they can.
But do you think they can literally regrow one with what they've got?
Yeah, from the DNA, from the bones, because they're readily available, and then they team it up with an elephant, which is a descendant.
What do you mean team it up?
That's what they use to make it more current.
To fill in the DNA.
To fill in the DNA. Because you have to have something to fill it in.
You haven't seen Jurassic Park.
No, I don't like cartoons. I've
like
seen
Bugs
Land
Bunny?
of the Lost.
Biggie, he knows how mad that makes. Where's my button? He knows.
He just pushed it.
He just pushed. You just pushed my button.
Look, we know who we're not going to take with us to see the saber-toothed tiger.
To the under the sea world.
In Jurassic
Demm
Park.
saw it the first time.
Okay. In Jurassic Park, they get the DNA for a dinosaur, but it's so old they have to fill in the links in the DNA to make a dinosaur, and so they use from a toad. Frogs.
Yeah.
So Dave is saying they would use elephant DNA to fill in the gaps on the woolly
mammoth.
Again, I've not seen the picture. Is this, you guys are claiming something that exists in the real world because you saw it in a movie 30 years ago?
No. These futurists are saying we are close to genetically
so close.
I've read this about them wanting to bring back the mammoth.
And the saber-toothed tiger.
And of course, there are people out there that are like, "Look, this animal is supposed to be gone.
Right, it's extinct.
It died on its own. The Earth didn't want it. Something didn't want it."
You know who that is? That's Jeff Goldblum in Jurassic Park.
Yes.
When they bring back all the dinosaurs, Jeff Goldblum says these were naturally selected to be taken out
gone.
for a reason.
How many times have we done stories about non-native species on this program?
Oh, it's never a good idea.
Look at Florida.
It never works.
Yesterday we were talking about feral cats in Australia.
Yes.
They weren't there, but they're killing off the local wildlife.
That's right. So and
You want to bring back a saber-toothed tiger?
right. You were quoting Jeff Goldblum from Jeff Goldblum's like, I see plants. You bring them back.
I see plants.
That you bring back because they look good.
Yeah.
They're poisonous. They shouldn't be on this planet. You know, they are
Bring back the animals that we have killed. Bring back a regular tiger, a Bengal tiger.
that humans have wiped out.
We have
Yeah.
thrown out because we've killed them. Lions.
Boring.
They weren't supposed to die.
You're doing Jeff Goldblum. This is Jeff Goldblum.
I want to see a saber-toothed tiger attack an elderly person. In fact, hopefully we can get it to be Chris Demm.
Well, as Bon Jovi would say, we're halfway there.
That's right. Doug, you're talking about bringing these animals back as a look into the future. Go ahead.
Oh, hey, guys. Myrtle Beach Doug here. I agree with Dave, and honestly, I think bringing back species that man has destroyed because we're stupid idiots, bring that back. Okay. But, dinosaurs, saber-tooth, stuff that probably should not be here or nature decided that disappeared long ago.
Yep.
Yeah, that's always a bad idea.
Biggie disagrees.
Boring.
But if you bring back, to rebut Myrtle Beach Doug, if you bring back, what is it, the carrier pigeon? Is that the one that went extinct 100 years ago?
Dodo bird.
The dodo bird. What are they going to eat?
Well, but what he's saying is,
What is that going to do to the ecosystem?
Oh well, yeah,
you have no
there's always
idea.
that. But what Doug and what Jeff Goldblum said in the movie is, I don't know, some creatures
I'll be in a sequel.
what some creatures our pollution has knocked out, because of man we've gotten rid. But then again, man is also a species on this planet.
True that.
So, it's like it all works together, nature, but
We're at the top of the food chain.
well, we are. Thank you, Doug.
now.
Appreciate it.
At
the moment. Until saber-tooth tiger, they
Until
get
they
wild out of the zoo because we don't know how they're going to act.
I know.
You see Biggie running from a saber-tooth tiger down the street?
It would be an honor to be murdered by a saber-tooth. If I'm going out like that.
Now that's a cartoon.
That's right.
Look, right now, I'm on track for found dead in apartment. I'm a byline on page B1 of the paper.
Yeah, the details, they just need to fill in the date.
Yeah.
They've already got it written.
Local DJ found dead.
Yeah. But let me say this. If local DJ attacked and killed by saber-toothed tiger in the middle of Main Street.
Now
Yes.
you're talking.
Yeah.
I hear you. I agree with
You'll
you.
go viral.
Jessica, you're talking about bringing these animals back as the futurists predict. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, it sounds like a great idea, but we've taken away a lot of their habitat. They're not going to have anywhere to live.
Yep.
They're not going to have anything to eat.
Yeah. Well, that's Chris Tim's point.
I agree.
That's right.
It's a
That's
bigger
right.
problem. I mean,
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. But if you only brought back a couple of like saber-toothed tigers.
They want to have sex.
Well, put them in the San Diego Zoo and fix them. Well, you know what they did in Jurassic Park? Not to keep quoting it. They brought them all back as female. They were all female, so they couldn't reproduce.
But life found a way.
That's Goldblum. Dang it. That's Goldblum.
I'll be doing apartments.com in the very near future.
Let's put a fence around it and give them like Mississippi.
He did say, life finds a way. That's exactly how he said it.
I was once a great movie star. Now I'm selling apartments.
That's what he said. When they mixed the toad or frog DNA,
Yes.
some of the frogs they used could change from male to female, or female to male. And that's
How did the scientists of the time not know that?
I know that. Well, that's what Goldblum says. Like, oh my goodness, because they found eggs. They were out there on the park, and they found eggs that had hatched. And he said,
Because it was
Life
money.
found a way.
It was the old guy who
It's all money.
It was all he wanted to build a park. He wanted to make money and
Yep.
be
Yep.
He was already had money. He wanted
So
to be
Biggie, that's
richer.
going to be the Biggie role.
Yeah, that's him.
That's Biggie.
That's Biggie's role. That's exactly
The
right.
evil corporate overlord.
He was.
just in it for the money.
That's him.
Welcomes to Sabretooth Park.
That was it. That's it. You're doing. Is that Richard? Who's it? Who is
that Attenborough?
Is that Attenborough?
That's
Attenborough.
I think that's him. Yeah.
David?
Richard Attenborough, I believe, played that. Traveling man, you're talking about bringing the animals back. Go ahead.
Hey, when Dave was talking about the elephant, I've read some articles on this, and they use a female elephant to actually bring the mammoth to term. So the plan is to artificially inseminate a current elephant because they don't have an external womb for that kind of thing.
Oh, I see. Ah, that
didn't
would
know
make
that
sense.
part, but
Okay,
that's-
very interesting. See that? That's well, we're meddling maybe where we shouldn't.
Wait till that elephant's husband sees it.
What did I do to you?
Wait till she feels those tusks.
That came out of you?
Have you seen the tusks on a mammoth? The pictures.
Anything you want to tell me?
What have you been with? Thank you, Traveling
You
Man.
were out of town.
Two-Wheel Hardo. We're seeing other people. Two-Wheel Hardo, you're talking about bringing these animals back in the future. Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to make a case for the mammoth and try to sway Dave because there's one thing I've learned from Al Gore and global warming like people is that the Earth can't possibly warm up on its own. So since mammoths died when the Ice Age ended, I want to blame it on caveman campfires and say we killed them anyway, so let's bring them back.
All right. A slap at Al Gore. A slap at environmentalists. Okay, I see what you're saying.
A lot of dots to connect.
I don't know that we're going to get
Follow
through all
that one.
that, but still.